The storm raged with an unrelenting fury, as if the heavens themselves were at war. Waves crashed against the ship with a deafening roar, each one more powerful than the last. Fear gripped the passengers, their faces pale and eyes wide with terror. The ship groaned under the pressure, and then darkness enveloped everything. A symphony of splintering wood and screams filled the air. The ship was being torn apart, piece by piece. Salt water engulfed everything, seeping into every crevice, every corner. The once mighty vessel was now at the mercy of the storm. When the storm finally subsided, a haunting silence followed. Only debris remained, scattered across the surface of the water like the remnants of a shattered dream. The ocean, now calm, held the secrets of the night before. A handful of survivors clung to the wreckage, their bodies battered and bruised. Hope seemed lost, a distant memory. They looked around, searching for any sign of life, but found only the vast, empty ocean. Then, through the haze, a shape began to emerge. An island, mysterious and almost ethereal, appeared on the horizon. It was a glimmer of hope in the vast ocean, a beacon for the weary souls. The island was barely visible, a faint outline against the endless expanse of water, but to the survivors, it was a lifeline, a chance at salvation. They knew they had to reach it, no matter the cost. They fought against the strong current, their muscles aching and lungs burning. Every stroke was a battle, every breath a struggle. But they pushed on, driven by the hope of reaching the island. Exhausted, they finally crawled onto the beach, their bodies collapsing onto the sand. They had survived the storm, but their ordeal was far from over. The island held its own challenges, its own mysteries. As they looked around, the shipwreck survivors realized that their journey was just beginning. The island was both a refuge and a new frontier, filled with unknown dangers and untold stories. They had survived the storm, but now, they had to survive the island. The island was breathtaking. Lush greenery carpeted the landscape. Crystal clear water sparkled under the sun. Coconut trees swayed gently in the breeze. The survivors rejoiced. They had found paradise. Relief washed over them. They explored their newfound sanctuary. Freshwater streams flowed through the jungle. Fruit trees offered sustenance. The island provided. They built a makeshift camp. They shared stories of their escape. They clung to the hope of rescue. But paradise held secrets, dark secrets. The days passed in a blur of survival. Each moment was a struggle, each breath a reminder of their isolation. Yet something felt off, a nagging sensation that they couldn't shake. The island was eerily quiet. The silence was almost deafening, a stark contrast to the chaos of their thoughts. No animals, no birdsong. The forest, usually teeming with life, was now a ghostly echo of what it once was. Only the rustling of leaves and the crashing of waves broke the silence. The sound was both soothing and unsettling, a constant reminder of their solitude. They dismissed it as exhaustion, but doubt lingered. Every rustle, every shadow seemed to whisper secrets they couldn't understand. Strange symbols were etched into the trees, symbols that seemed ancient, filled with a history they couldn't decipher. Whispers carried on the wind, soft, almost imperceptible yet undeniably there. They spoke of things long forgotten, of mysteries buried deep within the island. Unexplained shadows danced at the edge of their vision, shadows that seemed to have a life of their own, moving with a purpose that was both intriguing and terrifying. They tried to ignore these signs, tried to convince themselves it was all in their head, but the feeling of being watched was ever present. They clung to their hope. Hope was their only anchor in this sea of uncertainty. It was the only thing that kept them moving forward. But the island was watching. It had a presence, a consciousness that seemed to be aware of their every move. The island was not just a place, it was a living entity, and it had its own plans. Nightfall brought terror. Strange noises echoed through the jungle, growls, hisses, and screams. They huddled together, fear consuming them. Sleep offered no escape. Nightmares plagued them, visions of grotesque creatures with glowing eyes. One night, a blood-curdling scream pierced the darkness. They found one of their own, dead. His eyes were wide with terror. His body contorted at an unnatural angle. Fear turned to panic. The island was not what it seemed. Section 5, The Doctor's Dark Secret. Among the survivors was an unassuming man, Dr. Moreau. He kept to himself, tending to his notebooks. They discovered his secret. The notebooks contained disturbing sketches, grotesque creatures, part human, part animal. Moreau confessed. He had been exiled. His crime, genetic experiments, he created these creatures. The island was his laboratory. His creations roamed free. Their paradise was a prison, a nightmare crafted by a madman. Section 6. Aberrations in the shadows. Fear turned to paranoia. Every rustle of leaves, every shadow could be one of Moreau's creations. They saw them now, lurking in the undergrowth. Twisted mockeries of humanity, pigmen with intelligent eyes, wolf creatures with slavering jaws. They were trapped, hunted by the nightmares of a madman. Their hope dwindled with each passing hour. The island held them captive. Section 7. The island's true nature. They discovered the ruins, hidden deep within the jungle, a crumbling laboratory, surgical tools scattered on the floor, cages that once held Moreau's creations. The air was thick with the stench of decay and despair. The island's true nature was revealed, a place of suffering, a testament to Moreau's hubris. The creatures they had encountered were not just animals. They were Moreau's failed attempts at perfecting humanity. Section 8. Trapped in a nightmare. Days turned into weeks. The survivors lived in a constant state of terror. They were prisoners in their own personal hell. The island had become a reflection of their deepest fears. They were haunted by what they had seen, by what they had learned. The island had taken its toll. Their sanity began to fray at the edges. Section 9. A desperate plan. They knew they couldn't stay. They had to escape the island. But how? They had no way to contact the outside world. They were surrounded by Moreau's creations. They devised a desperate plan. They would use Moreau's remaining supplies. They would build a raft. It was a long shot, but it was their only hope. Section 10. Escape from Paradise Lost. They worked tirelessly, chopping down trees, scavenging materials, driven by a shared desire to escape the nightmare. They knew the risks. One wrong move could mean death. Finally, the raft was complete. They pushed it into the water, hearts pounding with a mixture of hope and terror. They set sail, leaving behind the island that had held them captive. Section 11. Scars of the Island. The tale of survival is often romanticized, but the reality is far more harrowing. For those who endured the island's wrath, the journey was not just about escaping the physical confines, but also the psychological chains that bound them. They were rescued, returned to the world they once knew, yet the world they returned to felt alien, as if they had been gone for centuries. The familiar faces and places seemed distant, almost like a dream they could no longer grasp. But the island never truly left them. The scars ran deep. These were not just physical scars, but emotional and mental wounds that festered with each passing day. Every scar told a story of pain, survival, and the relentless will to live. They were haunted by nightmares, haunted by the creatures. These nightmares were vivid, almost real, as if the creatures had followed them back, lurking in the shadows of their minds, waiting to pounce at their most vulnerable moments. Haunted by the island's dark secret, they were forever changed. The island held secrets, dark and unfathomable, that gnawed at their sanity. These secrets were like a poison, slowly seeping into their souls, altering their very essence. The island of lost souls had claimed a part of them. It was as if the island had a life of its own, a malevolent force that marked them, branding them as its own. This mark was invisible to the naked eye but felt deeply within, a part they could never get back. The island remained. No matter how far they traveled, how much they tried to forget, the island's grip was unyielding. It was a constant reminder of their ordeal, a shadow that loomed over their every waking moment, a testament to the horrors that lay hidden beneath the surface of paradise. The island, with its deceptive beauty, was a cruel reminder that not everything is as it seems. Beneath its serene facade lay horrors that defied imagination, secrets that were best left undiscovered.